Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time that you are doing this. So I'm breaking this up into two things that you'll see. So if you don't catch the live boot camp, then you will be able to follow through or follow everything along with a warm up and activation, and then the workout will be in a separate video. So, hello. All right, so we're going to start off just basically dynamic stretching is what we're going to start off with, and then a little bit of activation. So let's start off with just let's do 5 down dog to cobras. So I'm going to come into a down dog. I'm going to come forward, lower myself down, and then either press up through my hands, or if I have low back issues, I can press through my forearms. I'm trying to not compress my low back. I'm trying to keep my ribs in and up and press through my whole forearm or through my hands. So we're going to curl our toes, come back up. I'm just going to do 5 of these. So whatever is your jam. Sometimes I like to, when I come here, I like to come to knees, ribs in, butt squeeze, press up, or press up like this, and then press up to here, then to down dog. So we're just trying to get a feel of how our body feels this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, depending on when you're doing this workout. So welcome. One more of these. And then we're going to come into a down dog, and we're going to bring our right foot to the outside of our right hand. I'm going to lower down that back knee, and then I'm going to roll my arm up and feel a nice stretch in my left hip. And then I'm going to step it back and then do the same thing on the left side. So here, rolling my arm up, finding a nice stretch, back to here. And we're just going to do 3 of these on each side. Just getting a feel of how our body feels today. And one more on this side. So I'm going to come back to a tabletop. I'm just going to do a couple cat-cows, just because if we just woke up in the morning or if we've been at work all day, we want to feel good. And then I'm going to come back to a down dog, and I'm going to walk and do a little plank walk out. So I don't need to stand up, but I'm going to walk out to a solid plank, drop my hips down, and keep my shoulders back and down. Send my heels back, and then walk it all the way back. I'm going to do 5 of these. That was 2. Get a nice stretch in the hamstrings, and a nice solid plank. So keep your back nice and flat like it's a table. And then we have 1 more. So we're just wanting, you can have a little bend in the knee if that feels better for you. So then we're going to stand up, and we're going to do what I call good mornings. So good mornings, I'm going to show you from this side. You go wide, so about between hip and shoulder, about shoulder width apart. I'm going to come here. I'm going to bring my arms up, and I'm going to push. I'm going to turn my toes out just a little bit. I'm going to push my hip back and feel a stretch in my hamstrings. You can have a little bend in your knee if that feels good, and then bring it all the way back up, and then all the way down, and all the way back up. This is just dynamic stretching to start. We will do a little activation, which is 3 rounds. I'll explain that in a minute. So just wanted to check in, see how your body feels, hinging that hip back, and then 1 more. Nice. Okay, so that's just a little dynamic stretching. So this next part that we're going to do is the actual activation. So I want you to pay attention to how your body feels, how your body is moving. When we do that, sometimes we can determine if we could use a heavier weight or a lighter weight. So today we're going to do 3 rounds of 10 air squats to calf raise, 8 by 8 shoulder taps, and 5 by 5 plank dips. So how that looks. Air squat. If you notice that you have knee pain in your knee when you squat, notice if you're pushing your knees forward or if you're hinging your hip back. So the first thing you want to do is hinge your hip back, squat, come up, calf raise, squat, calf raise. We're doing 10 of these. There's 3, 4, woo, don't fall over. Think about though pushing that hip back, coming down into a squat, 5, then coming up to that calf raise, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're basically not wanting our knees to come over our toes. So don't lead with the knee, lead with the hip, and then bend at the knee. Second thing we're doing is shoulder taps. So I'm gonna come here first to show you from this position. So I go wider with my feet because I want my hips to stay stable. And then what I'm gonna do is tap a shoulder. Now, if you can't tap a shoulder, you can tap an elbow, you can tap a hand. But notice how my hips are staying stable. And I'm gonna do 8 by 8 on these, on each side. Making sure that you are breathing. Now, next thing we're gonna do is come down to plank dips. Now, a lot of time with plank dips, what you'll see is people moving really fast side to side and touching the hip all the way down. I want you to come into a forearm plank. I'm gonna go wider with my feet to make this easier. I wanna keep my core engaged, butt squeezed, little dip, little dip. But notice how I'm not going all the way to the floor. I'm not trying to twist at the spine. So we're gonna come back up. That was round 1. We're doing 2 more. You can definitely go at your pace. I'll show you from the front as well. So we're squatting, calf raise, squat, calf raise, squat, calf raise. Here's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we're going plank shoulder taps. So I'll show you from the side view. I'm wide with my feet. You can either go shoulder, elbow, or hand. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Keeping my core engaged, not overarching my back. I'm gonna stand all the way up. Forgot the last one already. Oh, yep, plank dips. You'll notice that with me, sometimes I forget. So I'm gonna come wide again. Little dip, little dip, little dip. 5 each side. Feel your core warming up. And then we're gonna come back to the top and do it one more time. So here we go. Squat, calf raise, squat, calf raise. For 7, 8, 9, and 10. Our shoulder taps, shoulder, elbow, or wrist. Notice how my hips are not moving side to side when I bring my arm up. I'm trying to keep my hips square and stable. So then we go into our last round of plank dips. Okay, so that is our activation. You will have another video down below for the actual workout. So you should feel a little warmed up, a little warm in the belly, core a little fired, muscles kind of turned on and ready to go for the workout. So go down to the next video.